Let's talk about one of the most frustrating feelings in the world. Having these huge, massive dreams, but for some reason, you just can't get yourself to act on them. It's that weird paralysis of being ambitious but lazy. And today, we're going to get into the psychology of what's really going on. Does this sound familiar? You can see the life you want so clearly. You can almost taste it. But when it's go time, when you actually have to do the work, you just freeze up. If that's you, I promise you are not alone. Let's break down exactly why this happens. So first things first, let's just map out what this looks like on a day-to-day basis. Because it's not random, it's a pattern, a cycle that can feel totally impossible to escape. I mean, this timeline is almost universal, right? You wake up, you're full of great intentions. Today's the day. But then, the phone comes out, a few distractions pop up, and boom, half the day is just gone. By the afternoon, you're making excuses, promising yourself you'll start fresh tomorrow, and the day ends exactly the same way, with that heavy feeling of guilt and disappointment. And here's the real trap. This isn't just about having one bad day. It's a loop. You promise yourself you're going to break it, you feel that little spark of motivation, but when tomorrow actually comes, poof, it's gone, and you are right back at square one. So why does this keep happening? Let's switch from the what to the why. Because this isn't about you being a bad or lazy person. No, this is about how your brain is literally hardwired to operate. Think of it like this. There's a constant battle going on inside your head. You've got your ambitious brain, the part that sets the big goals and dreams. But then you have your comfort brain, and its only job is to avoid pain and seek out immediate pleasure. And for a lot of us, right now, the comfort brain is winning that fight. And this is the core idea, right here. Your brain isn't being lazy, it's being protective. When you think about those big, scary goals, your brain sees potential threats. It sees effort, uncertainty, and the very real risk of failure. So it offers you an easy escape, a distraction that gives you a quick, reliable hit of dopamine. This isn't a character flaw. It's a survival instinct that's just completely misguided for the modern world. And here's the real cost of seeking that short-term comfort. Every single time you choose the easy path, you're not just avoiding one task, you're actually reinforcing a habit. You're training your brain to believe that avoidance is the right move, and that your long-term goals, well, they just aren't a priority. Now, all this avoidance tends to build into another, much sneakier roadblock. Because a lot of the time, what we call laziness isn't laziness at all. It's actually perfectionism in disguise. This is such a critical point. You tell yourself, oh, I'm just waiting for the perfect moment, or I need a better plan. But in reality, you're waiting because you're scared. Perfectionism doesn't feel like fear. It feels like having high standards, which makes it a very, very clever defense mechanism.
So here's the twisted logic behind it all. Perfectionism protects the fantasy of success. See, as long as you never actually try, you can still believe that you could be amazing. The dream stays perfect and untouched. But the moment you take action, you introduce the risk of failure, and that could shatter the whole thing. So, you do nothing.
And this leads us to a really important question. We're all taught to be terrified of failure, right? To see it as the worst thing that could possibly happen. But is failure really the opposite of success?
No, the true opposite of success is inaction.
And here's why that little distinction is everything. Failure is data. It's a lesson. It's the price you pay for the education you need to eventually succeed. But inaction, it just keeps you stuck. It teaches you absolutely nothing and guarantees you stay exactly where you are.
Okay, so we get the cycle, we get the psychology. Now for the most important part. How in the world do we actually break out of it? Let's get into some real, practical tools.
This right here is the mental foundation for all change. First, you have to stop waiting to feel motivated. That feeling is fickle, it comes and goes. The real work starts when you accept that you're probably not going to feel like doing it. The key is to take one tiny action anyway, then do it again tomorrow. And know that with every little action, you are literally rewiring your brain and building that discipline muscle.
And when we say small action, we mean ridiculously small. Your perfectionist brain wants to go from 0 to 100 overnight. You have to ignore that voice. Start with something so small it feels almost silly. Just 15 minutes. The goal here isn't to be perfect. The goal is simply to be consistent.
Look, this is not just a willpower problem. It's a design problem. You have to make it easier for yourself to do the right thing. I promise you, successful people don't have some secret reserve of willpower, they just build better systems.
Remove the temptations. Create an environment where focus is the easiest option.
Oh man, this is a trap so many of us fall into. We watch videos, read books, listen to podcasts about how to be productive. And it feels like we're making progress, but really, it's just a smarter form of procrastination. You probably already know what you need to do. The time for consuming more information is over. The time for executing is right now. And this next piece is just as crucial as discipline. You have to stop beating yourself up. That feeling of guilt and shame you feel at the end of a wasted day, it doesn't help. It only fuels the negative cycle. Guilt doesn't motivate you, it paralyzes you.
Listen, you are going to have bad days. You're human. You will fall back into old patterns. That's not just okay, it's part of the process. Success isn't about being perfect and never messing up. It's about how quickly you can get back on track after you do. Forgive yourself and just start again.
So really, it all comes down to this incredible balance. Ambition without action is just a daydream, but action without self-compassion just leads to burnout. You need both. You need the discipline to do the work, especially when you don't feel like it, and you need the kindness to forgive yourself when you inevitably fall short. Okay, you get the pattern now. You have the tools to change it, so let's make this real. Forget about tomorrow. You've spent more than enough time planning and dreaming. What is one tiny 15-minute action you can take right now to start moving forward?